For now, the market's holding firm and is up over 65 points. Havells is the stock which is surging now. Jubilant Foodworks, and that's also another stock which is doing well. Mahesh Nandurkar, India strategist at Jefferies, is now joining us. Mahesh, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining us. Mahesh, so what's the approach for this market now? It's been, so strong, both at index level and at the broader market level. Of course, there's been some profit taking at the broader market level in this month. But from valuation point of view and from sentiment point of view, is the risk reward still in favor of, adding to equities right now?
I would say that now the market, has become more bottom-up oriented from here on. Difficult to argue for large gains at the broad index level. Certain stocks and sectors will definitely do better, but from the broader risk reward perspective, I would say that it's beginning to turn unfavorable in my view. Difficult to see how we will make substantial gains in the broader market from here on. But we continue to prefer the cyclicals and some of the selective sectors. So I think from here on, the investors will need to become more selective and more bottom-up oriented.
Mahesh, hi, good morning. I wanted your thoughts on how the COVID situation is going to impact the economic recovery, because of course, we know world over there are lockdowns. Places like Israel are seeing huge spike in terms of, both cases as well as hospitalizations. Now you're seeing even in Maharashtra, I mean, the Delta variant is sort of spreading fast. I'm not talking about it from a health perspective, but from an economic recovery perspective. Do you think that earnings and the recovery would get slightly more delayed? And will that have any bearing on the market at all, considering we're at record highs?
Yeah, no, it's a fair concern, Sonia, to be talking about COVID, especially, so many countries all over the world, as you mentioned, are going through this third wave. And, we are maybe seeing some very, very initial signs of the same here in India as well. But looking at the second wave experience in India and looking at, how the developed world economic indicators have been, especially in Europe, although more recently we have seen some consumer sentiment weakening in the US on the back of Delta. But by and large, I would say that every successive wave, whether it is third or fourth or whatever, is, in my view, going to have a lesser economic impact and also a lesser market impact as well. Because, we clearly saw while the number of cases and the death toll in the second wave was much higher, but the economic recovery, and we track a whole host of economic indicators, we were actually quite surprised to see that the economic recovery post the second wave was faster, in terms of speed. If you look at, how many percentage point recovery in various indicators, it's actually been faster after the second wave bottom than what it was at the first wave bottom, which was a surprise because the first wave, there was a national lockdown, there was a much deeper economic impact. The second wave, there was like partial lockdowns in various states and the economic impact was shallower. So the expectation was that the recovery will also be shallower, but no, it was actually faster. So going by that experience, my sense is that, even if there were to be a third wave, and, hope not, but, if that were to be the case, yes, there will be some delays, but I don't think it will really change the trajectory or the mindset of investors in my view.
Mahesh, good morning. Yeah, I understand that point that you're making, really. So I guess the next joker in the pack for the market is central bank policy normalization, whenever that happens, if that happens. But assuming we start getting more of this taper talk internationally, or if the RBI also starts being a little less accommodative, do you think it'll have a knee-jerk reaction on the market, or will the market take it in its stride as a sign of a return of economic growth?
No, that is clearly the risk that we're looking at. And that's why I mentioned that the risk reward is not looking that favorable at this point in time, because it's a matter of time in my view, whether it takes a month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. But I think the market will have to start discounting the possibility of some kind of a return back to normalcy, because we cannot have a very strong economic recovery and talk about that and enjoy that and then not expect the central bankers normalizing their policies. So I think both are, both cannot happen simultaneously. So if you're talking about strong economic recovery growth, then it has to follow up with the bankers, the central bankers normalizing their policies, and we have to brace for that. So having said that, given the economic growth, the earnings growth is quite strong. I mean, we're looking at, in Indian context, 35% plus earnings growth this year, 15 to 20% growth next year. So while there will be PE multiples, I mean, there's a case for multiples going down as the policies normalize globally, but there's going to be a strong tailwind coming in from earnings as well. And maybe the two offset each other out. So yes, there will be, in my view, a possibility of some, market dips. But my sense is that given the economic recovery and given the corporate earnings growth that we're looking at, those dips will be bought, in my view. But yeah, at an overall basis, I would still say that difficult to expect markets to deliver strong returns over the next 12 months. But yeah, so makes sense to be selective.
Okay, makes sense to be selective. By the way, the HDFC Bank stock has lost some of the sheen, but there are others who are pitching in, and that's helping. And on the downside, Vedanta stands out. Remember the big slam dunk yesterday at one point was down 12%. It's in F&O ban now and is starting about 2% lower today as well. Mahesh, the metal pack, it's seen a massive rally. This year, the metals index is up some 70% or so, 77% in fact. What's your call on this? Because it's always a timing issue. Entry and exit both have to be important in metals.
Yeah, while we cannot really expect the similar gains that we saw over the last 8 months or so, but we still continue to stay positive on the metal space. I mean, our thesis here is that still, the China policy continues to be supportive, and my sense is that the decarbonization theme is not going to go away in a hurry. That would be supportive for demand-supply perspective. And also, we believe that despite this 70-80% rally that you talked about, many stocks and many of the leading stocks are still trading at a reasonable valuations, in my view. If you look at it from even a price-to-book perspective and compare those with the ROEs, and historically, the kind of ROEs the leading companies are currently showing, I mean, even if you assume that the prices currently, the metal prices will not sustain. And even if they move down by, say, 15-20%, and which is what we assume in our forecast, we are still looking at close to 18 to 20% type of ROEs next year, FY23 as well. And my sense is that at those kind of ROEs, the price to book multiple can still be higher from where we are. So yeah, we continue to stay bullish there.
Okay. We were just speaking with the new management, the new CEO of Mastech, and he sounded so confident about how some of these companies are sort of, retaining their capabilities in-house now. They're seeing fresh order wins, deal wins are much higher. And I mean, he spoke about the possibility of getting into Fortune 500 or Fortune 1000 in the US. That speaks a lot about how these tech companies are growing. But do you think that this is a crowded space now, or is there still a lot more to go?
I think from the near-term perspective, I do see margin worries there because, what has happened is that this, whole, demand boom, which you are referring to, is really driving the wage costs, up quite a lot. And, in fact, my kind of channel checks suggest that it is not easy, to retain, IT talent these days. And the wage hikes and the salary hikes is the order of the day, and which will probably create some kind of a near-term margin pressure. We saw some of that in the June quarter, maybe September, December quarter as well. But my sense is that as the new deal wins that you talked about, come through, and given that even in the US, the job market is, especially in the white-collar segment, the job market is quite tight, and the newer deals are getting signed, in my view, or will be getting signed at higher pricing point. So yes, from a near-term perspective, it does appear to be that margin pressures will be worrisome. But if one takes a 12 to 18 month kind of a call, I think the margins will improve. So yeah, so I would say from near-term perspective, those who are worried about the next one quarter performance, maybe maybe it's a crowded trade, but I think from a 12 to 18 month perspective, still looks good.
Mahesh, on that's traditional software services. I'll end by asking you about the new age tech businesses, right, which are a combination of consumer demand in some format and technology and the internet. We've seen some crazy numbers and crazy valuations, more listings up ahead like Policy Bazaar, Cardtrade, etc. Your thoughts on the whole space?
Yeah, I think the valuations, are clearly very difficult to, explain. I must admit that. But the thing is, there is clearly a novelty value there. We've seen the kind of valuations and the market caps these kind of stocks have traded in the developed world, in China, etc. India is just entering, that phase, as we speak. So while investors will keep complaining about the valuations, I think practically, most of the investors still want to own, those stocks. And, now you're getting more and more choices, as you mentioned. So, people will be doing, some picking and choosing. But from the institutional portfolio perspective, it would still make sense to, hold about at least 2-3% of the portfolio in some of these new age, new technology companies, despite the valuations, because I think that clearly is going to be the flavor of the day, at least over the next 12 to 18 months, maybe longer.
Okay, well, Mahesh, we will leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us a perspective. That's the word coming in from Jefferies. They're a bit cautious on the market. They believe that, although the third wave, God forbid it comes through, it won't impact the economy in a very big way, but they just feel that the market has run up so much, the risk reward is a bit unfavorable at the moment. But let's move on and take a quick glance at the market. Look at that. The Sensex sitting pretty above the 56,000 mark. The Nifty as well, gaining so much ground, up about 70 odd points. DLF posted a good set of numbers in Q1. In fact, the real estate